therapist, so does it. I mean, she's obviously doesn't have, you know, two brain cells rubbed together. I mean, you just look in her eyes. She's got one-way eyes. But when you look at the snake eyes of a Margaret Sanger or the devil eyes of a Gloria Steinem, they know how to run savage ops on our families. And they've devastated things. Blacks were, depending on what area, 30% illegitimate, 40% illegitimate. When you are illegitimate, that means you're 3 to 4 times more likely to be in prison or involved in crime. Now blacks are 92% illegitimate. Whites are 50% illegitimate now. Hispanics are about the same number as whites. And you can just see it. Society totally falling apart, totally crumbling. And so I just want to right now say to Gloria Steinem and to the Ku Klux Klan and to Margaret Sanger there with the Klan, who the liberals worship, I want to say you've done a great job. You have really screwed people up. And, of course, they've also got the liberals who aren't really liberals that are Klan members. They've got them doing a great job where blacks get all upset when the media, you know, talks about Trayvon Martin and some questionable event to get everybody at each other's throats. So the liberals can pose as their saviors while they're busy killing 52% of black folks before they're born. You can't get black folks excited about that because the media and Wolf Blitzer didn't say so. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've gone deeply now into the secrets of what's going on with Katy Perry. Part of me, that disgusting, fetid, anti-human garbage. Let me explain something. Defeating the New World Order starts one place. When men and women understand that a man is not whole and a woman is not whole. Humanity is a man and woman. Humanity is the interface of man and woman. And that's why the system attacks marriage and man and woman and makes it like some bigoted anti-civil rights thing when you say marriage is very important. Breeding between lions is important. Breeding between blue whales is important. Fire ant breeding is important. They're attacking through a scientific dictatorship the institution of humanity itself and packaging it as some civil rights crusade. Invade Africa to help the black people, KONY 2012. Manifest fraud. Margaret Sanger and Katy Perry, women, let's get the men, let's join the Marines in some feminist exploit. Let's invade and take over the military. You'll show the men, you'll choke them out. This is only one phase right now, but they do want to make most of the peacekeepers women. A bunch of Elena Kagans with machine guns waddling around. I mean, it's a nightmare system, and people need to see it. Women, you've not been empowered by feminism. You've been turned into sexual objects who don't have any time to have any time off or to be appreciated for what you really are. You've been lied to about women's position in society throughout history. You are the society. You are the creatures, the more dominant of the two. You create and grow the next life. And they tell you, oh, that's a horrible thing. The feminists say your baby is a parasite. They don't ever want you to really have a child, so you're empowered through it. And they want your child drinking a bunch of Coca-Cola and McDonald's, bouncing off the wall, screwed up, so that you don't understand what your child would have really been. They are attacking us so they can rewrite our society. Speaking of Margaret Sanger wanting to exterminate blacks and being worshipped in every liberal publication as a loving liberal, here are some numbers. You can go check these out for yourself. Approximate number of African-American deaths since 1973. AIDS, 292,000 here in the United States. Violent crimes, 306,000. Accidents, 370,000. Cancer, 1.6 mil. Heart disease, 2.2 mil. Abortion, 11,156,700. And then that number's a couple years old. That's through 2001. So, you know, I guess it's probably more like 15, 16 million now if you follow the graphs we've got. And Margaret Sanger said, we got to kill these people. You can pull the quotes up. I just showed you her at the Klan rallies. And by the way, when I did Endgame, I didn't just, and we didn't even end up putting all that in there, but in the research, I had Aaron Dykes write off to the universities to get and to pay to have the actual microfilm photographed. And we showed it on air at the time to show her actual letters, copies of them, saying, how do we kill these black subhuman weeds? Those are quotes. We pose as liberals, we buy off the black leadership. And they worked out plans to have the black leadership always stir blacks and whites up against each other, pose as their friends. Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton on the MSNBC, Trendy channel. Again, real racists like Margaret Sanger are like, I love you, black. Behind the scenes, murder him, murder him. And again, I come out and cover this, and I've seen folks saying they're black on my YouTube channel when I point out this Trayvon Martin thing is a media hoax. The whole event's a hoax. Whatever the truth is, it's a hoax to get us fighting with each other. And they're like, I knew you were a racist. Good then. Go ahead, okay? Go have a couple more abortions. Kill some black babies. I'm the bad guy. You're the people buying in to the New World Order's propaganda, and the women are the ones buying in to hating their men and thinking they're getting a leg up on somebody watching MTV they think's their friend. And men that think it's cool to act like idiots all day and act like fools because the TV shows tell them to. You're idiots too. It's time for everybody to get wise to this propaganda, and I'm sick of it. As for the Trayvon Martin situation, it has now come out that he's got a bunch of black friends for years who say that he's not racist, and they come over and watch football and all the rest of the stuff and go to the gym and hang out. That's all on record. And now I saw it on the news this morning. A black neighbor, a black teenager is on ABC News going, no, the guy with the hoodie was on top, the other guy in the red shirt, the neighbor, beating him in the face. I mean, I've got all these clips. It's all right there. I'm not saying it's good that the guy even followed him. I get the fact that he was walking while black. That part's wrong. He's going to get the Skittles or whatever, and he's walking back, and the guy is an overzealous neighborhood watch guy, Zimmerman, who's called the 911 like 90-something times. I get all that. But he approaches him, and reportedly, Trayvon turned around and then, got in an altercation with him. Not smart to bring fists to a gunfight. But the whole spectacle about the media and all of this is to get us at each other's throats. And, it's coming out now that he had burglary tools at school and all this other stuff. I don't know. I know people that have been pulled over and cops have asked, what's that? And they go, it's a screwdriver. And they ask them if it's a burglary tool. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I was called in the high school office once and asked if I was robbing stereos. And I said, you know full well I have no criminal record. I said to the cop, I know you've been dealing drugs. That's why you called me in here. And he grabbed me and slammed my head into the table and said, yeah, you better shut up or you're going to go to prison. And then said a bunch of racist stuff about black people. So I get the fact that there's racism out there. He said black guys are going to rape you and give you AIDS is actually what the white cop told me. But side issue. The point is I know that that stuff's going on. Okay? I'm not defending that. The point is all getting together and now there's whites are being attacked and all over the country. I read about public fairs and parks and events where black folks are now attacking white people. And now there in Miami, it looks like about 80, mainly black kids run in and grab and steal a bunch of stuff as part of a Trayvon Martin protest at a Walgreens. I mean, this is the type of stuff going on. My final point is this on this Trayvon Martin subject. Remember Jesse Jackson, remember Al Sharpton and the lacrosse players? They were white, therefore the devil. Did they ever apologize when it turned out that was all made up? Now, I think this case is more complex, and Zimmerman may have been in the wrong, and if that's the case, he should be punished. I'm not debating that. It's that when mainstream media tells everybody to get at each other's throats, you got to ask, why is that happening? And why is Obama trying to use this as his re-election campaign tool? It's disgusting. All right, that's what I have to say on that subject. Moving right along here, we're like 3 stories into this now. Only 30 minutes in here. Fear of radiation treated as psychiatric disorder. And this is what they do with troops that get sick from depleted uranium use. They tell them you're mentally ill. Well, now 5 reactors blow up, incredible radiation sickness. They're now just saying, here, take Prozac or we're going to lock you up. So your kid's got blood pouring out of them, so their heart stops from radiation poisoning. Big deal. It's good for you. This after the government's been caught lying over and over and over again about the radiation levels. And now they're just saying it's fine, and if you don't like it, you're mentally ill. That's my problem with nuclear power, is these companies don't even care if they have crises now. They just raise the level of radiation that government says is safe, and then supposedly everything's fine. Okay, getting into another area now. Man arrested, charged with assault for pointing finger at the police. And the gentleman that they arrested, they're calling it assault and a threat, has no criminal record, says he was pulling his cigarettes out. And they arrested him. And you've got to love the spokeswoman for the police there in Fredericksburg. I mean, she is really getting off on this. This new thing where if you point your finger, you're going to go to jail, or you film the police, you're going to go to jail. I mean, this is like something out of North Korea. Let's go ahead and go to this clip.
A pointed finger lands a father in jail.
That's right, and this Fredericksburg man, in fact, says he didn't even point his finger at police officers, but now he faces 2 felony charges. Gail Huff is live from Fredericksburg tonight with the details on this story. Gail.
Well, police say he pointed a finger like this, and that felt very threatening to them. In fact, he ended up arrested, charged with assault.
He made the motion of shooting at the officers with his hand.
That's enough.
David Lawless is accused of pointing.
That's enough. He made the motion of shooting at the officer with his hands. And she's like, And I'm casting to play the Wicked Witch. And then later she's like, the court is going to hear this. There's a lot of private prisons. We've got a cram full of the slaves. I mean, is there no end to these people? So there you have it, land of the cowards, home of the slaves. Here's another one. City may sell historic landmarks. That's out of WJZ CBS television. More than a dozen historic landmarks in Baltimore may be up for sale soon. Sell off parks, sell off buildings. I love how in Rhode Island and Michigan, they're just saying foreign banks now own the town, and there's no more city council, and they're going to take your property or raise taxes, and then you pay all that to foreign banks who don't even really owe the town or own the town. They're just taking the town over. So it's all part of this privatization fraud. Very, very dangerous. And the same thing's happening in Greece under austerity. The Goldman Sachs fraudsters actually appoint the presidents and prime ministers now. Same thing in Italy. And they say, we're raising your taxes, we're cutting your funds. That further implodes the economy, keeping them from ever getting back on their feet. Now they're selling off the Greek islands, national parks, everything. It is just off the charts.